So this is 1:40 hours GMT on Sunday, the 2nd of April 2023, or 2:40 hours British Standard Time, so called, on Sunday, the 2nd of April 2023. This is the Khoodeelaar television channel being broadcast on the internet under the banner of the Baby Angel Geronimo editions. The first focal point is the absurd claim being reported on Saturday, the London Times newspaper, page 1, saying that Donald Trump's lawyers have vowed that Trump will not be wearing a handcuff or handcuffs as he gets arrested. Now, what an absurd act of stupidity and defiance. What difference does it make whether he is in handcuffs or not? The thing that has actually happened is that he, being the first ever incumbent, although formerly incumbent, in the USA's highest public office, the office of President of the USA, since the office was created, to have been indicted by an American court of any criminal offense. That is far more significant indeed than any number of handcuffs that he refuses to wear. Regardless of what the actual outcome of the proceedings may be, history has been made, or her story has been made by Stormy Daniels. All the opposition, Democratic Party so-called, and other opponents in the USA of Donald Trump failed to have him indicted on a criminal offense. And Nancy Pelosi was the speaker for the Democrats, made it a routine to say that he belongs in prison. Of course he does. But the Democrats failed to create the necessary legal procedural momentum and substance that could begin the process of him being sent to prison. It is Stormy Daniels, despite the fact that she is being described as a porn actor or pornographic actor, she has created history not by her craft or her profession, if you like, but by the fact that she has exposed, this is the crux of the crime, she has exposed Donald Trump as having lied. How would a person, whoever they are, be given any amount of money, $130,000 or 130,000 pounds? How would they be handed that kind of money for no reason, which is what Donald Trump and his lawyers have pretended it was about? Why would they give that kind of money to a perfect stranger? He says that he never met her. So if he never met her and had never had any liaison, then why would he make the payment? The payment was made to prevent Stormy Daniels publishing her account of her link or relationship, whatever the length of time that lasted, with Trump before the actual 2016 election. And in order to silence her, Trump got his then lawyer, Michael Cohen, to make a deal with her and pay the money. If it wasn't for buying her silence about the lies that he was telling, because he was denying it, that's why she was impelled to have to tell the story, which is what led to the contact by Trump through Cohen. If he had no knowledge of her, and if he was talking about a stranger, then why would he make a payment? Why would he make a contract? That is the lie. That it was a lie to buy her silence at the crucial time of pre election. So it was an expenditure that was made as part of his election expenses, which is what is again the more crucial crux of the crux. The declaration of the amount paid was that it wasn't anything to do with the election, but it was. If it was after the election, the urgency on Trump's part to pay the money would have been significantly less than it was when the money was paid before the election. So that's number one. Number two, all the stories in the mainstream print media, let's say, all the stories about various aspects of Trump and his core supporters, heartland voters, these are themselves corrupt headings and corrupt content. There is no such thing as heartland voters. There is only zombies, brainwashed people who have been put through generations, years, decades of brainwashing by the so-called civilized Western media. The media, as is being disclosed during the, well, has been disclosed already during the proceedings for the grand jury's decision, which has been a decision to indict Trump. Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News, which has been or had been the main television network supporting the wildest and the most outrageous and outlandish lies on behalf of Trump. Murdoch has been now reported as having said, "Fuck Trump." Because when the result of the 2020 election was about to be called, there was a hesitation and there was a delay because Fox News delayed it by several minutes and it called the outcome, that is the result of the election, in favor of Joe Biden, who had won. Few minutes after the other networks, the rivals, the competitors' channels to Fox News had already declared. And when this was brought to the attention, I mean the hesitation, the decision as to when to call the election was, I mean, Rupert Murdoch, as the owner, was very much live in contact with his channel and its editors and so on. And it was drawn to Rupert Murdoch's attention that Trump would not like it if Fox News called for Joe Biden. And Murdoch said, "Fuck him." Now, Murdoch is the one that had been consistently or persistently backing Trump for all these years. Now, even he had seen that the difference between Joe Biden's vote or votes and Donald Trump's votes was very, very substantial indeed. That's why he could say, fuck him, because he knew that no matter what hollow and shallow threats Donald Trump made about his being unhappy at the behavior of his previously solid supporting Fox News channel, Trump would not prevail because the numbers would prevail, and the numbers were overwhelmingly in favor of Joe Biden having won. There is a piece in the weekend edition of The Independent, that is the I newspaper, piece by Patrick Cowan. Patrick Cowan, the son of Claude Cowan, one of the sons of Claude and Patricia Cowan. Now he's wrong. I mean, Patrick Cowan's column gives the Trumpers or Trumpites a lot of space and says that they will make a difference. Well, they won't. Because it's not just the indictment that has already been in process now. There are several other indictments that are likely to be made against Donald Trump on various other crimes and offenses. Now, anyone who has studied the actual behavior of Donald Trump over the past, let's say, 40 years, who knows that he is a habitual, complete and utter congenital liar. In fact, it can be said that Boris Johnson fashioned himself really in his own minds after the behavior, after the disgraceful, dishonest character of Donald Trump. Everything Boris Johnson has done in denying the Partygate offenses, for example, and dozens of other lies that he has perpetrated, mirrors Donald Trump's style and Donald Trump's defiance. Like when Boris Johnson appeared before the Privileges Committee, he was physically behaving, as could be seen on the live stream that was coming out on the television, the Broadcasting Parliament channel, that he was reacting with a huff or a series of huffs. You say, he won't accept this, he won't accept that. But that's not the point. The point is that he, like Trump in the USA, Johnson is the ex-holder of the top political or public post in the United Kingdom, to have even appeared before such a committee with such a series of allegations against him. That's it. Whether he accepts the allegations or not is way down the list of importance. It is the allegations that have been made and the allegations that Johnson has completely manifestly failed to dent. So they're stuck. And all the evidence, like Rupert Murdoch's private and hitherto unpublished and unpublished condemnation of Trump and rejection of Trump, the disclosures that have come during the hearings before the Privileges Committee about the lies that Boris Johnson had perpetrated concerning the fact that he was advised. He was advised by advisors that his attending the parties was within the rules. And more than one advisor, former advisor, and more than one source familiar with the advisors rejected that claim by Johnson that he was advised. They said they did not advise. Not only that, evidence has surfaced saying that the only advice that Johnson was given was that it was against the rules. He should not be attending. And it's not just Johnson currently. His previous advisors, like Dominic Cummings, are included among the people who have condemned him for breaking the rules. So the fact that Johnson is being hauled before the Privileges Committee on what is actually a technicality, because it should not have had to be gone through or taken through so long before he is found guilty or he's condemned, he's ruled as having broken the law and having lied to Parliament. Even when it comes to actually confessing, which it has done, that he misled or made a misleading statement to Parliament about the parties, he then adds the additional stupidity that he didn't mean to. So what Boris Johnson is saying, in effect, that he is not one person, he is several persons, which makes him non-existence. I mean, if he is not aware of what he is doing, I mean, what does he need advice on? When he goes to the laboratory, does he need an advisor? I mean, where does it end? There are certain basic things that have to be done by the person themselves. And if they go to a party and stay there for 25 minutes with drinks galore, and the drink, that is a party. No workplace resembles a pub, which is what this party atmosphere resembled. And no other rule breaker, ordinary rule breaker, about the COVID-19 rules that Johnson brought into force would have been given even 2 opportunities to correct themselves. Johnson has been given now years to prepare his excuses, and he can't find any excuses. The entire cabal of Donald Trump that was kind of fascistically exhibiting itself victorious for the past 2 years, let's say, is now gone. And the Republican Party in the USA, including DeSantis and Mike Pence, are morally coming apart as complete non-existence. They are lending their support for Trump as the credible candidate for the Republicans at the next USA presidential election. That means the Republicans are finished. There is no way that Trump can get re-elected. There is no way. And so is the case with Boris Johnson. There is no way that Boris Johnson, and the line is being kind of drawn, if you like, or the propaganda is being kind of presented in the UK by the Johnson propaganda lobbies, that he's still a winner, which is what the Times is saying online in the UK about Trump, that it can happen only in the USA. A president, Trump can get elected behind the bars. How the fuck? he cannot get elected behind bars. That's for sure. Unless, of course, everyone has totally left all common sense remaining in them. Well, this is the first introduction to this part A, short introduction. We shall be broadcasting in due course later during the day, Sunday, the 2nd of April, 2023. This is coming to an end at 02 hours GMT.